A little anti-AI music news from Bandcamp yesterday, January 13th, where they released over on their blog. They will reserve the right to remove any music on suspicion of being AI generated. Their guidelines for generative AI music and audio is as follows. Music and audio that is generated wholly or in substantial part by AI is not permitted on Bandcamp. Any use of AI tools to impersonate other artists or styles is strictly prohibited in accordance with our existing policies prohibiting impersonation and intellectual property infringement. I think overall this is a great first step in the right direction from slowing the onslaught of AI Music Slop that is being released out onto the streaming platforms, but I don't think it goes far enough because there's no mention of other generative AI within these music spaces. There are a lot of artists who have started using generative AI in regards to music videos, any kind of short form videos, using it for their logos or artwork or merchandise. And you can't really be for generative AI in one space, but against it in another space. So it doesn't make a lot of sense where they're going to crack down on just the music aspect of it. And I think it needs to go further in regards to if you're using AI artwork or AI videos that support that music. They should also put that into consideration in pulling off the platforms. But another question is, what does Bandcamp consider music in audio that is generated wholly or in substantial part by AI? As there have been generative tools in most DAWs for 20, 30 years. Not just DAWs, but plugins. There's always new plugins coming out that have some kind of generative feature in it. Whether it's AI or some other form of generative technology, how are they going to detect if the music is wholly or substantially created by AI? As most average music listeners can't seem to tell the difference with what is AI music and what is human created. I'd say a majority of the AI music that is being released doesn't have much human involvement, as the sheer volume that's being released on all these platforms, you can't put that much music out. I'd say a good 99% of music that's being distributed, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, SoundCloud, Deezer, Bandcamp, most of it is just slop. It doesn't have much involvement outside of someone putting in a small prompt, generating a bunch of various versions. Even if they did provide the lyrics, does that really make it a song they created? Yeah, they wrote the lyrics, but the music was just generated by AI. And I would say that this is the type of stuff that Bandcamp is going to be going after. I'll have some examples to show you here. These are some bigger AI artists that have been making the news lately. One of them is Zania Monet here. I think this is the kind of stuff they're looking for. Heavily AI influenced. You look at their YouTube page, everything looks very similar, very the same. If you go look at their releases, and this is similar on their Spotify account as well, where they have all these singles or even albums, and the only difference is it's the same image. They just put a cover overlay and turn the opacity down on the cover art to make a difference, which doesn't take that long. Then you have somebody I came across, Emily Blue Official. This is like a blues artist. This is all AI generated, all the videos, the images, the artwork. There is a video here about them behind the scenes, this person creating the videos, but the funny part is it's putting together these music videos with the lyrics, and I don't know why they didn't use AI just to generate the lyrics over the top of the video instead of hand doing it. That's where AI should be used, is for some of those minute kind of boring tasks that's in the creative process. But for the most part, if you're using AI music and you're just generating it in Suno or whatever platforms, and then maybe editing it a little bit, pulling off some of the highs and the DAW, and then releasing that into the wild, that's not a really creative experience, and you're just trying to dupe people. And then recently in the country space, there was the artist Breaking Rust. I mean, look at this. I don't know what we're doing as humans. Like, this is just slop. And, the videos here, they've only been around a few months. I have 65,000 subscribers. Who's watching this? And then we got their shorts. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on here. This is just this is just garbage. And then I came across another one who actually is surprisingly bigger on YouTube, 115,000 subscribers. Like, what the hell are people doing? Look at it. They're very similar if you look at them. Let's see, take a look. Yeah, I wonder if it's the same person behind this, just generating these, slop content farms. Same with the shorts. Very, very similar. And this is the stuff I think Bandcamp is actually going to go after. I think the question is, how are they going to detect this? How are they going to detect something as AI within their platform and remove it? They didn't really go into much detail around that, and that's where a lot of the comments lead into is what is considered substantial part of AI, because there are a lot of tools out there within the mixing recording space. There's AI mixers, there's AI mastering tools. Yeah, those will go do some things to your music, but then you yourself have the option to go move some sliders, make some changes. And I think that's a little different than the generative AI such as Suno or Udio, where you're just putting in a prompt. You can't really go in there and dictate exactly how you want certain sounds to go. Hey, change this synthesizer to this type of synthesizer. It doesn't go that far yet. It is very limited in regards to the creative space of sound design. So you end up getting a lot of stuff that sounds very similar, even though a lot of everyday music listeners may get caught off guard and not know that something they're listening to is AI. As someone who was experimenting with Suno back in November for a month or so, the more I experimented with it, the more I learned that it's not really that creative. And a lot of the music that even turns out good is more of a dice roll with luck. Yeah, you can generate 60 versions of the song. Maybe one or two of them might be decent that you would want to work on. But overall, I think what Bandcamp is doing is a great idea. Hopefully other platforms start following suit, trying to get rid of some of these artists like Xenia Monet. I don't like, what is this? I did watch some video on somebody covering Xenia Monet, who actually went through and listened to a lot of the songs, and a lot of them start out the same. So it was very AI influenced with how a lot of songs start, especially within genres. But overall, Bandcamp is on the right track. Yeah, they're going to have some issues. I think it's always better to have progress before perfection. Like, nothing's going to be perfect in regards to going against AI, and at least there's platforms out there who are looking to fight it.